Good morning, Chabra. Today is the 28th day of Iyar. And we're going to start with counting Sfiras HaOmer. Last night we counted 43. Page 139. Let's say together, Hayoim, Shloisha, Va'arboim, Yoim, Shehem, Shisha, Shavuos, V'yoim Echad, LaOmer. Today is 43 days, which is 6 weeks and 1 day of the Omer. 6 weeks and 1 day, which means Shavuos is right around the corner. All right, let's take a look at today's Tanya, which is on page 64 in Chayenu. And we're on the top of the page. We're in the middle of chapter 52. And yesterday we discussed how the Shekhinah, just like the soul, disperses throughout the body into all the necessary places. Some places need the soul more, some less. The Shekhinah also disperses, Shekhinah, the light of Hashem, disperses throughout the entire world. And it also needs a garment, something to protect us from it, so to speak, because of its very powerful energy and light. And that's where Torah and mitzvahs come in, our protective gear from the powerful light of the Shekhinah. So it channels, contracts, and screens off the powerful light, enabling us to utilize and to benefit from the light rather than be all consumed by it. In today's lesson, this revelation of godly will and wisdom, this Shekhinah that we're talking about, makes a progressive descent through the spiritual realms, residing in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Holy of Holies of that realm, from which Torah comes in each world according to that world. As this wisdom, this Shekhinah, comes down progressive descents from world to world, the Shekhinah too comes down and it clothes itself in each world. So it's the wisdom that comes down, and the Shekhinah also goes from level to level within each world. Thus, within the supernal wisdom, which descends into each world, it is to be found the Shekhinah of that world. We know about the Holy of Holies, that we have to be very careful not to go near on the Temple Mount, right, Steve? So that's the holiest place in the world. We don't go near there. We have to be very careful. So every world has the Kodesh HaKadoshim, that very holy place, so to speak. Because obviously it's not a physical place the way it is here in this world. Meaning the Shekhinah resides with the Holy of Holies in each world. This being the divine intelligence enclosed in the Torah of each particular world. So also it has been stated in the Zohar Eitz Chaim. Shashchina shehi malchus tatzilo shehi bechinas gilui oir ein soif baruchu v'chayus shemeir la'olamois v'lachein he nikras dvar Hashem v'ruach piv kaviyachol. Okay, this is deep. Listen to this. It's been stated in the Zohar, the Kabbalah, and Eitz Chaim, that the Shekhinah, which is Malchus of Atzilus, the lowest level of Atzilus, right, Nati? The lowest level of Atzilus, which it's like Atzilus is right next to God. That's like, forget about it. We can't even describe Atzilus. Okay, the lowest level of Atzilus, still beyond reach. Being in the manifestation of the light and vitality of the blessed and Sof, the eternal light of God, which gives light to the world. Wherefore, meaning since it is a revelation, it is called, we call it in the words of man, speech, which is God's speech, and the breath of his mouth, so to speak, as it were, for the purpose of speech is to reveal that which was concealed in thought. Again, the reason why we call it speech is because speech reveals what you're thinking. So Malchus of Atzilus is that concept in spiritual terms. Machshavtoi, Hasusuma, Vinelama, Lishoimim, in the case of a person, by way of example, when you speak, it reveals to the listener the speaker's concealed and hidden thought. Otherwise, you don't know what I'm thinking. I mean, you might be able to make a face. I could tell that you're angry, but I don't know what you're angry about. Or you're happy. I don't know what you're happy about. The same. So when you speak, it reveals what you're thinking. The same applies above. Malchus of Atzilus, the level at which the light of the Ein Sof and previously concealed vitality becomes manifest, is called God's speech, but reveals godliness to the world. This level of Shechina, which is Malchus of Atzilus, then he mislabeshes beheichal kodesh kedoshim d'Bria, clothes itself in the shrine of the Holy of Holies of Bria, she chachma bina v'das Bria, which is the levels of chachma, bina, and das of Bria. V'slabshusan b'malchus Bria, nivru haneshamayis v'amalachim shebabria. So through the fact that the latter spheres, which we talked about, which is Malchus of Atzilus, clothe themselves in the Malchus of Bria, the souls and angels which exist in the world of Bria have been created. This gives them the ability to be created. It's God saying what he thinks, so to speak, and the way God creates is through speech. Really, it's just God thinking, but that's how we translate it in human terms, so we could try to relate to it. The soul and angels of the world of Bria are created beings, even though they're spiritual in nature, and we don't have a concept of it because it's all spiritual. But even spiritually, it's a creation. Unlike the spheres of any particular world, they are not the godliness of their world, but are created from the level of Malchus therein. Thus, the souls and angels of the world of Bria are created from Malchus of that world. So each world, the speech, so to speak, the revelation, which we're using here we're using the word speech for revelation to reveal what we're thinking, is of that world and is expressing and creating from Malchus of Atzilus. And so from there, the Malchus of Bria, in which is clothed the Shechina, meaning Malchus of Atzilus, which previously had clothed itself in the Chachma Bina Das of the world of Bria, after which the latter are clothed in Malchus of the world of Bria, and derives the Talmud that we possess, as has been previously explained in the name of the Holy Kabbalist Tikkunim. In the world of Bria, there shine and flow forth the Chachma Bina Das of Ein Sof in a powerfully contracted manner, in order that the souls and angels, which to us are beyond reason and understanding, but are in fact finite beings, because anything in creation has an expiration date, it's finite, because the Eibusher could end it like that, shall be able to receive influence from these categories of Chachma Bina Das. Souls and angels in the world of Bria are unable to receive influence from Chabad, as it exists in the essential state of Atzilus, meaning from the world above it. Only after the Chachma Bina Das, the Chabad, descends in a powerfully contracted manner into Bria, are they then able to receive its influence. Therefore, the Talmud, not the Mishnah, but the Gemara, the Talmud, Shehu Gamkein Bechinas Chachma Bina Das, which is also from the levels of Chachma Bina Das, also originates from there, from the world of Bria. For it, the Talmud is also of the category of Chabad. Talmud hu tameh halachos al biruyon ta'amim heim bechinas Chachma Bina Das. And the Talmud is, meaning it consists of the clearly defined reasons of the halachos, and the reasons being rationale are from the category of Chabad intelligence. We have all the different rules. Nati, what do you call those rules? No. No. Right before we say Haidu, we list all the different rules. What do you call them? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. What do you call them in English? But it's the structure and the setup of the rules defined within the Talmud of how you learn out this from this, that from that. That's what I'm trying to say. Procedural Rule. There's a better word. We'll get it in a moment. The halachis atzmon. Okay, so that's the defined reasons of halacha. That's what's the defined reasons of the halacha. So the formula within the right, the formula of the Talmud, how it all gets structured, and then halachis atzmon, and then we have the laws themselves found in the Mishnah. Hein midaisav shel einsof baruch hu shehin chesed din and rachmim chulu. The laws themselves found in the Mishnah derive from the midos, the emotive attributes of Ein Sof, namely kindness, severity, mercy, which is chesed, din, rachmim, chesed, gvura, teferes, v'chulu. So you have the rule structure is chok midas, and then you have chesed, gvura, teferes, which are, I'm sorry, let's go back. The chok midas is the Talmud, and the Mishnah is from the next set of spheres, chesed, gvura, teferes, shem nimshach, ha-heter, v'ha-isur, from which originate where do permission and prohibition, and permission deriving from kindness and prohibition from severity, ritual validity and invalidity, liability and blamelessness, ritual validity and blamelessness originating from the attribute of chesed, kindness, and ritual invalidity and liability originate from the attribute of gevura. As explained in the Tikkunim, we were learning yesterday. We finished off the Gemara with the kids that the halacha of lighting, if a shopkeeper, let's say it's a winter day and it's getting dark, so a shopkeeper puts a candle outside, and a camel walks by, and the flax on its back, it's carrying, like this flax. What do you use flax for? I don't know. That too, but. Also, if you grind it up, flaxseed is very healthy. Anyway, so weaving and whatever, but it's also extremely flammable. So if the camel goes by and how they walk and everything else, and suddenly the flax catches fire, because we're not talking about a little candle, we're talking about they want to light up the area, and the camel's load gets lit up on fire. Who knows what? It causes a lot of destruction. So the shopkeeper is liable. So then he says, except for Hanukkah. When you light the menorah outside, well, shopkeeper should be lighting it at home. Okay, there's a lot of shilas within the thing. But the question that I had was, how come he's liable there, he's not liable there? So we're trying to figure out, because Hanukkah, everyone knows that there's going to be candles lit outside the home and you have to be careful. So he's potter, but it doesn't mean that it's mutter to go ahead and do it. It's like potter avalasar. Don't put it in a place where it could lead to something catching fire, and then you're going to be liable and say, no, but since it was Hanukkah, all these things are the next level down. That's chesed, gvura, and tiferes. Verstehst? So the takeaway is I threw in an extra little twist here that maybe I shouldn't have gone into this whole thing. But anyway, that's the way it works. Takeaway, if you understand how your body works, you can get an appreciation of how Hashem works. At least a little inkling, a little idea, concept. God made the body mirror, in microcosm, his relationship with the world. Your undefined energy for your entire being presents itself in your brain, and from there it flows to the rest of the body. Similarly, Hashem, while his energy is all-encompassing, it's everywhere. He chooses a place in this world to dwell, and that place is the Beis Hamikdash, the Holy of Holies of each particular world, and also within you. Every single person is a small world, and within them there's a Holy of Holies also. And that is in their mind and in their heart, when they daven and when they pray, they bring Hashem into their lives and into their worlds. So how do we do this? Through learning, through davening, through Torah and mitzvahs. And that's it for today. Have a good day. Just want to welcome everyone to join us at the Memorial Day ceremony at Town Hall. The rabbi will be giving a benediction, otherwise known as a blessing. I'm going to try this for the first time. I'm going to bring a bottle of water and say, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam sha'achim v'yom. Then I'll translate it. Have a good day, Chavra. 11 o'clock at Town Hall. Yuda, you'll be there, right?